Well, hello, everybody, and happy Tuesday. If you're watching this after Tuesday, which some of you might be on YouTube, that's cool too. So happy whatever day it is. Summer is finally arriving, and that actually means a lot more than just in terms of the weather outside, but also relating to the real estate market. My name is Stephen Meade. I am the head house geek here at Domicile Real Estate, where we are on a mission to help California's renters become homeowners. This is our entry-level market update. So we do a Southern California housing market update that is for the whole market. This one is directed specifically towards entry-level properties, which is a little bit different than I know a lot of the other things that are out there. So let's go ahead and get started. I actually have some good news to share with you if you are a entry-level or first-time home buyer. Let's go ahead and get started. So the first one is pricing, and I want to talk a little bit about some of the comments that we had. Maybe about a year ago, we had some people saying they thought that they were going to wait, and you might think that that was a totally bad decision because rates went up, and it is true, rates did go up. But if you were waiting for a little bit of price relief, you actually have gotten it, right? And looking back here today, our entry-level single-family home in LA and Orange counties, this is a 3-bedroom, 2-bath, and is $735,000. Now, what does entry level mean? To us, entry level is the first quartile. So that is halfway between the median and the lowest. So kind of a quarter way up the ladder. If you were to draw kind of a scale of 3-bedroom, 2-bath houses, a quarter of the way up from the cheapest to most expensive is $735,000 and if you look back here, where were we about a year ago? We were in the high 7s to low 8s. So it's definitely an improvement over where we were last year. It's a similar story on our entry-level condos, which is 2-bedroom, 2-baths. Now, interest rates have gone up. So what does it really require you to earn in order to, or what is your monthly payment going to look like on one of these hypothetical properties? We did this based on 5% down, including mortgage, insurance, taxes. And we end up at $56.74 per month for our entry-level single-family home and $44.31 for our entry-level condo. These numbers are suspiciously similar to about where we were a year ago today. So the reality is that your buying position has not deteriorated nearly as much as you thought it was. However, there is something very good about buying a house today versus buying a year ago. Rates are a bit higher than they have been right now. The great thing about higher rates, and by the way, as an aside, anyone who is claiming to predict interest rates with any degree of accuracy is lying. They are just guessing. Maybe they're even educated guesses, but historically, people have usually been wrong about interest rates more often than they have been right. But there is one thing I will tell you about interest rates that is practically a certainty, and that is that they are volatile and they change. So if you are a buyer who buys when interest rates are relatively high, you are locking in your purchase price, but you are able to take advantage if rates do go down at a later date, which may spur higher prices. So I would actually rather have prices that are the same or a little bit lower and higher interest rates than I would have lower interest rates if I were a first-time buyer, because I know there's a very high likelihood that I will have an opportunity to lower the payment and have a lower housing cost on the same house in the future. So going back here, if we look at what is the minimum household income required if you have no other debts to afford these payments, for our entry-level single-family home, that is $139,000 or $108,000. Again, that is shockingly similar to where we were about a year ago for these entry-level properties. If we move on here to our absorption rate, we get a little bit of relief. Both of these numbers are fairly close to 80%. What does that mean? Well, basically, this is a very quick and dirty way of saying this is a market that is brisk, but it is not necessarily crazy. And I think one of the effects that we're noticing, we've mentioned it before, is that the entry-level market is very, very susceptible to interest rate shifts. So for example, if interest rates go up a little bit, we see demand pull back at the entry level. And I think if you're a buyer, you can use that to your advantage, right? Because that's going to be the time when you're going to face fewer multiple bids on properties. If you look at our total inventory, we've got some other good news. If you're in our condo space, inventory has now reached right about where it was last year with a little bit of an uptick. Our entry-level single-family home inventory is still trailing behind, but finally this is moving in the right direction. We're finally getting some additional inventory coming into the market. I still think we're going to be not as good as we were last year in terms of inventory, but we are getting better. You are better off now than you were a little over a month ago. We were at a low point for inventory available. If we look at our percent still active, this is a little bit more competitive than last year. It's a little bit more competitive than we were kind of through the fall of last year, but it's holding steady. This number isn't deteriorating, and I'm going to call that a win if you're a first-time home buyer. Finally, we've got our week's supply of homes, and this is kind of a number that's a little surprising, but it shouldn't be. We've seen relative inventory, which is what this is measuring, tick up. So this measurement here is absolute inventory, right? This is just the number of 3-bedroom, 2-bath homes that are active on the market in LA and Orange County, or the number of 2-bedroom, 2-bath condos. This number is relative inventory. So this is based on how fast homes are currently selling. How many weeks of inventory do we have? And you'll notice we're up to 4.5 weeks or so on our entry-level single-family home. That's a little bit of an improvement. And 6.4 weeks on our condos. I think those condo buyers are even more affected by interest rate increases than our single-family home buyers. So I am not entirely, that's not wholly unexpected. If you look back through last year when rates were going up, we saw a similar effect, right? That the condo market saw that relative inventory grow more than the single-family home market, despite the fact they started at the same point in terms of inventory about this time last year. Anyhow, that is our Southern California housing market update. If you are looking to become a homeowner, if you're currently a renter, or you know someone who's currently a renter and shouldn't be, it is never too early to chat with us. We would love to lend you some of our expertise. You can definitely reach out to us via YouTube, Facebook, or our contact information, which is in the description. Questions and comments, we do love those. Do not forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell. We have also started a new podcast, which we're going to upload video on, that we are doing with another real estate broker. She is way prettier than me and just as smart. I think you guys are really going to like it. We're working on that, and we will see you again real soon.